Hello and welcome to an episode of Hardspace Shipbreaker, where we're going to break down a heavy cargo mackerel. Now these aren't huge money, but they are quick and easy to break down, and you can do it in 2 shifts as long as you're efficient about it. But if you have to do it in 3 shifts, it's not really a big deal. There's plenty of money to go around, or value in it, to afford 3 shifts. Your primary goal should always be hitting all your milestones, less than concern about the money. And the reason I say that is because hitting your milestones feeds your links tokens, which get you your upgrades. And your upgrades will make things more efficient later on. So I always start by taking off all the exterior modules I can.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
By the way, if I didn't mention it, my name is Volcata. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Now, in the case of using the cutters, I like to use the spreader when I know that I'm not at risk of hitting something else that might be, you know, cuttable. Now, I do have a few upgrades. The upgrades aren't that important. I have 1 level of the thruster that you saw, the grappling push, which is very nice. I don't think you need more than that. And the reason I don't think you need more than that is because if you need more than that, just use a tether instead. You know, if something's heavy enough. I need to check, make sure. Yeah, so the green bars on all the names there mean the vessel is pressurized. And I do have the full pack of tethers, so sometimes I'll be a little abusive on using them, like right here. But it saves you time. And
Credits deposited.
I don't know if I ever use more than 25, which is the 2nd upgrade, I think. And in the case of these exterior pieces, you need to grab them by the support, because the panels will come off. Also, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but my guy was breathing heavily. He still is. That means there's a hazard somewhere nearby, an active hazard, usually a fire or electrical short or something, which we shouldn't be hearing because we haven't even been into the vessel yet. So something may have happened during the startup.
Credits deposited.
So we need to be careful when we go inside.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
Yeah, he's panicking or something. But he's not panicking too heavily, so it shouldn't be right on the other side of the door. Ah, yeah. Well, that's problematic. Okay, so this is going to end very badly, just to let you guys know. Because we're going to have to do an explosive decompression. And with that going on, this whole thing's going to blow. And there's just sometimes you just can't avoid it, especially on these higher difficulty. Vessels. And there is a free-floating forklift, which is also problematic. Okay, so this is going to end very poorly for us. What we're going to try to do is get this thing outside. Oh. This is so bad. Oh, looks like it ran out. That's good. So, fortunately, when coolant leaks, and he doesn't want to come in here, anything that it freezes will unthaw. Give it a little bit of time.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
Whew. Alright, so I don't think I mentioned it, but the regulator in there was broken,
Salvage secured.
which means we are going to have to explosively decompress this thing. What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to send the air up. I guess we shred the back of that container off. So we're going to send the air up and hope that we don't blow up the entire thing. Back there is the reactor, and we don't want things flying around the reactor.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
One of the benefits of this version of the vessel is that there's a hatch on top, and we can detach the hatch from the top. So we're going to grab this. It looked like things had de-thawed or thawed out. And this way we're going to decompress while we are outside the vessel, not inside it. Alright, brace for impact. I also am close to the reactor, so I want to personally move.
Please revisit your training.
Yeah, the forklift got destroyed. That was expected. I attached the hatch to something, by the way, so that we would most likely be able to find it after the fact. Wow, that moved the whole vehicle. Look at that. Alright, we're going to cancel the tether. And we're going to send it out to the barge. Now, the cockpit is still
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
compressed because I closed the door on it. We'll have to decompress that in a bit. But most importantly, we didn't blow up the ship. Let's break everything off of the floor. This is not necessary, but it makes things easier because if they're still attached to the floor when I break out the floor, they'll tug the floor all over the place while I'm, trying to remove them. I gotta be a little bit careful about this because the spreader could hit the fire barrels. Dangerous with the coolant tank there, but we're good. Alright, give it a little bit of a shove. See, that's why I gave them a little bit of shove. See how reluctant this guy is to come out.
Object processed. Credits awarded.
So yes, the tethers are unnecessary. In those cases, they're fairly light.
Salvage secured.
But
deposited.
they save you time. And the difference between 1 and 2 shifts is a lot of money. And by 1 and 2 shifts, I mean 1 or 2 shifts extra. So we're going to complete this in 2 shifts
Salvage
as opposed to
deposit
3.
accepted. Credits transferred.
I'm not worrying about the asteroids because they go to the furnace anyway.
Account credit applied.
And this cage is going to end up going to the furnace. So they may get caught in it. And if not, then they're out in the open and I can just
You've got about 5 minutes
drag them
left
at
in
that
this
point.
shift, Cutter. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Weaver out.
Come on.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Trying to line this up to
Salvage
get
secured. Account credit
both of them at the same
applied.
time. So
Salvage
normally you
deposit
want
accepted.
a straight
Credits
line to
transferred.
the ground when removing a
Reserves
reactor,
are low. Reminder, asphyxiation
but I like to get
fluid
above
the
it.
salvage
Unfortunately, I
quota.
can't in this unusual setup, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rely on a tether to drag it straight down quickly and hope that it doesn't arc before it gets down there. Go, 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 go! Alright.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Push these guys up. Push these guys up. Yeah, I'm running low on O2.
Oxygen reserves are critical. Affordable
Object
oxygen
accepted for
supplies are
processing.
available for purchase
Credits
after
deposited.
check.
Yeah, don't rely on your thrusters to get you across the map. Grapple something that's really heavy or anchored, and then right-click to drag yourself. And then don't forget to slow down before you get there. Let's make sure this chain...
Processing valuable objects.
Okay, actually, I don't normally chain objects, but they were all willy-nilly. And I was in a hurry because I was running out of oxygen, so... Alright, that's most of the interior. So our last worrisome thing is that we have to decompress the cockpit. Grab onto the wall. Now the reason I closed off the cockpit before I decompressed was twofold. First of all, there's a lot of valuable stuff in there that I didn't want to get hit by that forklift or anything stray floating around.
Salvage secured. Account credit
But
applied.
more importantly, and more relevant to bigger ships, is that the fewer compartments you decompress at once, the better. It's less volume of air decompressing.
Salvage deposit accepted.
And-
Credits transferred.
Again, damage becomes mitigated if you have closed doors. And that becomes really relevant on the big ships, because they're often, you know, 5,
Salvage
6
secured.
or more
Credits deposited.
chambers that are linked, and you can't decompress any of them normally. And the only safe way, or the safest way to decompress them, is
Salvage deposit accepted.
one at a time. You decompress one, you explosively decompress it,
Credits awarded.
then close the doors on it, and then open the next one into its little room. And that's the safest way to
Salvage
decompress
secured.
those vessels.
Account credit applied.
So in general, decompress as few chambers as possible all at once.
Down to the wire. That's bullshit.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred. Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
That's a pretty good cleaning there. 1.4, not bad. So the airlock console got destroyed probably in the decompression, so the forklift. But beyond that, not that big of a deal. That coolant tank unfortunately got destroyed when the door closed on it. And that's, you know, roughly 20 grand. But overall, pretty good. So let's move on to second shift. Alright, second shift, last shift. So again, grapple and drag. Get there as fast as you can. I'm going to take the plate off the back of this before I release the thruster. Not entirely necessary. The reason I do this is because the thruster is attached right now, so it won't move. I like to keep it that way because it's easier to get it out of the back if it doesn't move.
Valuable objects processed. Credits awarded.
So now we'll unlock it. There's no reason to break these out because this is a processor piece, which it's attached to the back, which is also a processor piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab and do a very quick reel. There we go, do it again. Just kind of let it come out on its own. That way it doesn't bang around inside, and if it gets sideways, then it becomes a real pain to get it out. That's good money. Alright, so now we need to get into the walls.
Salvage secured.
You know what, let's get this
Deposited.
rock out of my way. Ah, that sucker's heavy. 1,500 kilograms. That is definitely a tether item. Do not waste your time dragging stuff like that all over the place. Okay, is there a window? There's no door into the... There we go. Before you do anything in here, you want to shut down the fuel. I want to detach everything from the walls.
Material deposited.
Make sure, so you see my cursor is gray, that means I can't do damage to this. Check that before I use the spreader. It's safe to cut this pipe because we shut down the fuel. That's only for this side, don't mind. We give it a quick push, get it out. Now this mount says processor, so it's aluminum. Go ahead and get it. It's not necessary to do that, but hey, you know, every little bit counts.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
Alright, so now we need to go through here and let's get this guy on my way. And start unattaching everything.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
So there are other versions of the Mackerel that have cabling running through the walls instead of piping. The cabling is a furnace item, it's kind of a pain. Piping, however, is processor, so that's good. It's good for us. Now I'm not going to use the spreader around an airlock because an airlock can be broken. Please move away from that. Thank you. Now you notice I'm not breaking any of the pipe junctions. There's a very, very good reason for that. Actually, let's move this guy out. So we've already pulled the switch, so it's safe to move him out. Or floating backwards just a little bit. I don't want to bang him around. Lift him up. Alright. Now where's that window we created? Right here. That's the side of the cockpit. Bye-bye. Take a moment to detach these while the wall of the cockpit is being
Salvage
processed.
secured. Account credit applied.
Alright, it's out of the way now.
Valuable objects processed.
Now here's why we didn't break the pipes, because the pipes connect each wall segment. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. It's also why we detached everything ahead of time.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Salvage gains observed.
Alright. Now the doors are nanocarbon. Normally I don't waste the time to break them out, because they can, if they're open, they're in the walls. But if they're closed still, it doesn't hurt to give it a little blast there. A little bit more money.
Valuable object. Credits
Where
awarded.
are... There we go. It doesn't care that you've broken the door, it just cares about the material. That was a light that was trying to escape. The lights are negligible. If you lose them, it's not a big deal.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Now we need to get into this other wall, and we don't... The fuel is still active in there, so we're gonna leave it. And this is how we're gonna get in. I could break out these side panels, but I don't want to risk cutting them while there's stuff on the other side of them. Also, in the mackerels, the glass in the front is very thick and more valuable than the glass in most other vessels. From a time to collect it value. Alright, so we're going to drag this away.
Material deposited.
Now, if you don't have upgraded grappler, you just use a tether to drag it away, and a lot of times you don't have to drag it away. But the reason I wanted to drag it away is because I want to get into the wall. Now, the cockpit is mostly nanocarbon. Now that we've taken the glass out of it, but there is some aluminum. So we're not going to throw it into the processor just yet. We're going to wait and see if we have enough time left at the end to cut out the aluminum, and if not, we're not going to worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and air up while I'm here. Remember, we got 6 minutes left to finish this out. Cut. Brakes. My thrusters are a little worse for wear.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
Okay. Ooh, we got a lot of dangerous stuff inside here. One bad shot and I could really mess things up. Get these guys off the walls. the guys off the bottom in a moment.
Alright, Cutter, you got 5 minutes left of this shift before they turn the lights out on you. Pitter patter. Weaver out.
Grab, drag backwards. Careful. Alright, now just gonna leave them right there in place. Just want to break them off. Oh no, we get the nacelles are really gonna break out. Yeah. Pushing time here. Okay, it's a double. That's good. Just a little push. Probably shouldn't waste my time getting the bracket off the mount, but I'm going to anyhow. Would you stop moving? Thank you. Go, 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 go. 3 minutes, running ourselves out of time. Let's speed this guy up a little bit.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred. Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
I shouldn't be wasting my time with these lights, but I can't help myself.
Object processed. Credits awarded.
Alright. So the inner panels on these ships are nanocarbon. So you want to cut them out. Got a little loosey-goosey there. That's okay. Why are you not in there? So this is where the big benefit of having a few extra tethers really pays off.
Credits awarded.
I have to spend time trying to get those things in the right place.
Processing valuable objects. Credits awarded.
But that's everything out of it. Apparently we did not detach this.
Time is winding down, Cutter. Dig deep and let's finish strong.
So we're not going to have time to cut the aluminum out of this bad boy right here.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
Go, 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 go! Alright, we hit our level 3 milestone. Everything's in.
Deposit accepted.
I missed an asteroid. He's not gonna make it. No, he didn't make it. Well, there you go. There's a 2-day complete breakdown of a heavy cargo mackerel. See, we didn't lose a whole lot of stuff. This right here, the aluminum, this was the part that I did not get to cut out of the cockpit. The aluminum is not real valuable. It's not that big of a deal. So, I'm not too worried about it. Alright, well, thank you for joining me. Hopefully you'll return for the breakdown of other ships. But, thanks again, and like it if you like.